It's the Deep Slant 101 presented by Xfinity. My guest this week, starting quarterback Davis Mills. First of all, Davis, first NFL win for you in your career. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's this week been like for you?
It's been great. But I mean, since I guess we had the victory Monday, came in and started the film watching and prep on Tuesday, and it's kind of on to the next one.
I mean, you've gotten a lot of national love this week just from what you were able to do. You know, you've had 8 starts, but you get the win, the fourth quarter drive to get the final touchdown from you to Cooks to really, as you said, final dagger in that game against the Jaguars. With all this media attention that you've gotten lately, does it feel like there's a little bit of a weight lifted off your shoulders, just getting that first game, getting that first win under your belt after all these starts?
I mean, I wouldn't say a weight lifted off my shoulders. I would just say, I mean, we're coming in each week with the same goal, and that's to win football games. So now that I accomplished that first one, it's, I guess, makes it easier to move forward and go on to that next week and try to do the same thing.
I think one of the big questions that has gotten asked in the last few weeks from really all the coaches that you work with is what's improved from the first few games that you started until this last stretch of when you were named the starter. And I mean, I've heard a number of answers from quicker decision making, recognizing blitzes, your internal clock being a little bit faster. I know David Culley has mentioned that a few times, but I wanted to ask you, what do you think has really improved from early on in the season when you were playing games to now?
I mean, I think it's a combination of all those things. I think the biggest part that plays a role in it is just the experience and kind of having that knowledge and the memory bank you can pull from of the previous looks you've seen. I mean, the example of the Jaguars game this past week, we had the delay a game at the start of the game that they brought a cover zero blitz, and I was trying to get to an audible and make sure we were in the right play, and I just ran out of time pre-snap. And then we ended up seeing that same thing later in the game, and I ended up checking it out of it and getting a big play to Phillip there. So I think just things like that pop up, and I'm able to start processing it faster and get to answers. It's really helped out.
What do you think in those few games that you weren't playing, where you were sitting behind Tyrod Taylor? Were there things that you were wanting to work on, or what were sort of the things that you were looking at in game when you weren't actually playing in the game?
The biggest thing was just being fully locked in mentally. I think that's the hardest part of the backup quarterback's job in the NFL, is just staying fully locked into the game plan and any in-game changes that happen on the sideline, like in between series. So I think that was the biggest thing, just staying locked in and making sure I was ready if I was ever kind of thrown into that situation.
Well, when you were named the starter, you mentioned that your dad was going to fly down, or I think someone said that your dad was going to fly down and watch you play. And I want to say your mom was at this game at Jacksonville. So what's it been like just having your family around? Are they going to be able to see a lot of your games, or where are they traveling from when they're coming to watch you?
Yeah, so my family's all back in Atlanta. My parents and my oldest sister are back there, and then the middle sibling, my still older sister, because I'm the youngest. I have a sibling in Houston as well, so she's been out here a lot, along with my girlfriend. Have been to basically all the home games, and then traveled to a couple away games. But my dad's been really flying around to as many games as he can, and fortunately, I had a lot of family down at this past game in Jacksonville. I have a lot of cousins down in South Georgia that were able to make a quick drive over, so that was good.
I know you had your own little cheering section. That's amazing. When you were drafted, I remember you did a press conference, and that's when everyone sort of learned about your sister who went to University of Houston. Mm-hmm. And you joked about crashing at her place because she just bought a house. So I have to ask, did you get your own place? Or was that the plan of crashing in her spare bedroom? I assume that has gone by the wayside by now, right?
Oh yeah, I got my own place. Really after rookie minicamp ended, I found a spot to stay. My girlfriend moved out here with me as well. My sister, her house is really still being renovated, so she's not even moved into the new one yet. And hopefully that should be finished soon, though.
Okay. Well, you then have your ties to Houston, but now that your family's been here, we saw you out to, I think there was a picture of you out to dinner with your dad. Have you been able to explore much of Houston at all? I know you're really busy being the quarterback and with all the meetings and everything, but how much of Houston have you gotten a chance to see? And what do you like to do when you do have any free time?
Most of my free time, has been either just trying to relax, watch movies, or play video games. But I think the biggest thing exploring Houston that I've seen so far is really just like the food scene. I've tried to eat at a bunch of different restaurants and kind of figure out my go-to spots. So that's been really good. I'm excited in the off season though. I want to go down to the Space Center and maybe go see Galveston and just different things like that that are a little farther out from really the inner loop.
All right. So do you have your go-to spots?
Um, I think probably my favorite two would be El Tiempo and MF Sushi, which is in the museum districts. I like that a
Okay.
lot.
Those are some good choices. Well, you didn't go to college here. You went to Stanford. Your sister went to U of H. How did you end up at Stanford? Why'd you go there? And was that your first choice? Were there other colleges that you were looking at?
Yeah, so luckily in high school, I had a pretty good amount of colleges that were interested, and I kind of had options to go all over, but I felt Stanford was the best fit, both academically and athletically, because my parents kind of always instilled as us kids that, I mean, education first. If sports never work out, you need to fall back on your education and really capitalize off that. So I felt like Stanford was the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the classes at Stanford are really on a top notch, another level academically. So that leads me to wanting to know what you might think you would be doing if you weren't playing football. What do you think you'd be doing?
I'm not sure entirely. I mean, obviously, I'm doing what I'd like to be doing, and that's playing football, playing quarterback. But I did intern one summer at Stanford in commercial real estate with CBRE. So maybe some sort of
Hmm.
real estate investment or something in that realm.
All right. Well, I saw your Instagram and I've looked at your Instagram and you've curated it very nicely. It's all black and white pictures, and then you scroll and it's the color version, which aesthetically is very pleasing and very artistic, and it's very organized. So how did you get the idea for that?
I really have no clue. I think I started it maybe freshman year of college and just thought it looked cool and then kind of just rode with it. And I feel like I'm at the point now where I'm kind of just stuck in that box of everything has to be black and white. So who knows? I might switch it at some point, but I'm kind of just riding it.
Yeah,
For
my
now.
biggest fear for you in that is that if you ever want to post a video highlight or a video, how will you do that? How will you do the
I don't
video?
know. I think
You have no videos
potentially
right now
have
up
like
there.
the cover photo be black and white and then transition into color, but I don't know.
Yeah, black and white cover photo, swipe, and then you get the color video. I think, I
Exactly.
mean, you could try that. You could start because you're gonna have some highlights. You might want to throw them up on your Instagram soon.
We'll
All right,
see.
how about for yourself? You got a few games left before the end of the rookie campaign. What are some things that you want to work on? Some goals for yourself here in this final stretch of the season.
I think just continue to go out and improve, and really make all the players around me better. I think that's the main role of the quarterback, and then score more touchdowns when we get down close to the end zone. Try to capitalize on field position and get the ball in the end zone rather than having to kick field goals. Although, I mean, Kaimi's been doing a great job, but I think we can spread the ball around and get in the end zone ourselves as an offense.
That field goal target line is moving further and further down the
I
field
know.
with Kaimi there. So it's been a lot of fun to watch, Davis, and we're looking forward to the rest of the season. Thanks for joining us today.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching, and go Texans! Like, subscribe, and ring the bell for new content.